Welcome to the Lunar Shift podcast, where I'll be speaking about shifting and spirituality. This is your host, Luna. Let's get started, fellow shifters. 2020 introduced to Dracotok. Like many of you, my shifting journey started back in 2020 during the rise of Shift Talk. At first, I honestly didn't believe in shifting. I thought people were just being delusional. But I've always been open to the unknown, so I gave it a try. My first attempt, I literally just sat on the floor, closed my eyes, and visualized Hogwarts for 3 minutes. Obviously, nothing happened. After that, I forgot about shifting for around 2 years. 2022, Misinformation. Fast forward to 2022. It was right before my finals, and instead of studying, I decided why not try shifting again. This time, I wanted to shift to Demon Slayer. Looking back, I really advise against doing this during exams because I ended up prioritizing shifting over studying and it impacted my results. I started diving deeper into shifting content, but most of what I found was on TikTok and Amino. A lot of it was inaccurate and over romanticized. Shifting was treated more like a fantasy than a real practice. At this stage, I was always seeking validation by comparing my journey with others, and it just left me feeling demotivated. Eventually, I deleted Amino and decided to focus on my own path. That summer, I took a break from shifting. 2023, my first shift. This was the year everything changed. After a breakup, I redirected my energy towards shifting. It became a priority, though I still made sure to balance my goals and my original reality. I started journaling in the Lifa app about everything: methods, trials, and reflections. One method that stood out was the I am method, which I learned from a shift talk creator named Reya Singh. One night, after feeling really demotivated, I randomly decided to try this method, using ambience that reminded me of my desired reality. I fell asleep and later woke up in a hypnagogic state. I could hear the Alunir Dear Questions video playing, even though I hadn't turned it on. Suddenly, I started seeing and hearing pieces of my DR. Voices, images, even the feeling of being someone else. It was one of the most powerful experiences of my journey. I wrote everything down in Lifa, and that diary log has kept me motivated whenever I start doubting myself. 2023, more shifting experiences. After my first shift, I began shifting more often, usually with the I am method. Sometimes I'd land in small glimpses like seeing a wardrobe in my DR, but struggled to stay grounded. These moments were proof that shifting was real for me. 2025, manifesting shifts. Something I've learned from Reya Singh is to start small before shifting to a drastically different reality. Practice with small, subtle changes. I experienced this unintentionally. I had a white pen from a bakery and it was completely stained with ink. I kept thinking, I wish this pen was clean, but didn't expect anything. One day, I pulled it out and it was spotless. Same pen, same brand, but just perfectly clean. I even took pictures, which I'll share in the YouTube version of this episode. Later, I tried this more intentionally. I wished my iPad case was clean, and a few weeks later, I found an identical brand new case in my room. These little shifts proved to me how powerful manifestation can be. That's all for episode 1 of the Lunar Shift podcast. Today, I shared my shifting journey so far, my doubts, my first shift, and how I learned to manifest small shifts. I hope this episode inspires you to keep going on your own path. Please comment any topics you'd like me to talk about in future episodes. Until next time, fellow shifters.